Okay, we're back in the new area because I was cleaning out a few things and it's easy to come sit over here. Um, I actually went back and watched the original Snow White Blu-ray a couple hours ago. Now, I am a Disney stockholder. I've been one since like '92 when my parents bought me the fucking stock many years ago. And in the past 2 years, I've lost about half my value. And the new Snow White and the Seven Persons will be coming out next year. Experts are saying that could actually bankrupt the studio. And if Warner Brothers had actually sent an executive to Disney, they would not be able to do this much damage. Now, first and foremost, Peter Dinklage is an asshole. Okay? Yes, I'll be honest, there are a lot of little persons in Hollywood that have been subjected to some political incorrect stuff. They play leprechauns, dwarves, midgets, elves, okay? And it's not exactly that polite. Okay? But when they get successful, Kenny Baker, okay, they don't really complain that much. The Munchkins, okay, we had a couple of Munchkins alive up until a couple of years ago. They were well into their 90s, and knowing that they didn't have much time left on Earth, they came and did interviews, and they were overjoyed that they were part of the greatest children's movie of all time. Now, here's the problem. Disney is sacrificing profit in the name of woke. Okay? Many years ago, every Disney princess was white. I'm actually looking at a figurine display case now. Snow White, the Seven Dwarfs, with the evil queen behind her. Yeah. Um, and Disney realized, I think it was in the early 90s, that the little girls that watch their shows and movies are not all white. If you go around the world, you have blacks, Asians, Hispanics, blah, blah, blah. Okay, you also have in America itself, which is the primary audience, blacks, Asians, Hispanics, what have you. Okay, so they realized they needed to diversify the gene pool. Okay, you need a Muslim princess. What do you go for Muslim princess? Arabia. You need an Asian princess, China. You need a Native American princess, Virginia. Although let's be realistic, the Pocahontas reality is a little different than the movie. You realize you need a Filipino Islander princess, the Pacific. You realize you need a black princess, New Orleans. And that was perfectly fine. Go where the princesses are. But now they're like getting a little carried away with it. Like, are you gonna find a black princess in Europe 500 years ago? No. Are you gonna find the Hispanic princess in Europe 500 years ago? No. So that got a little goofy. But they're also destroying the culture around them. Example, Song of the South. And ironically, my video library, Song of the South, is right next to Snow White. That's right. I found it on fucking Amazon and I bought it. It was okay. It was more the controversy surrounding it, but Song of the South was about the black folk character Uncle Remus, who tells stories of the Brer Rabbit, Brer Fox, Brer Bear. Okay. Disney banned the movie in America. You could probably buy it in other countries, but it's banned in America. How it was on Amazon, how I found it, I have no fucking clue. It was just there, so I bought it. Maybe some guy went to Europe and brought it back. I don't know. That'd be a good idea though. Go to fucking Europe and buy all the Song of the South DVDs and bring it back here and sell them. That'd be a good idea. Disney can't complain because they don't like part of it, right? Think. Now, a lot of people don't realize this, but Hattie McDaniel was in Song of the South. Now, Hattie McDaniel is the most important black actress in American history because she was the first black American to sing on the radio, first black American to win an Academy Award, and she won said Academy Award for Gone with the Wind, the greatest movie ever made. So Disney banned a Hattie McDaniel movie in America. And Hattie McDaniel died at 51 years old in 1952, I think it was. Very young. She went to her grave years before the civil rights was settled. And she spent her entire life being discriminated against. When she went to attend the premiere in Atlanta of Gone with the Wind, they told her in advance, you have to sit in the black section. You can't sit in the VIP section. So she didn't go. When they gave her the Academy Award, they didn't give her the regular full-size Oscar statue that they gave to major Oscar winners. They gave her the miniature statue that they gave to lesser important winners, like Best Sound Editing or some shit. When she died, they wouldn't bury her in the cemetery she wanted because it was all white. Although many years later, the cemetery agreed to exhume her, and her family said no, they put a monument to her in that cemetery, which I thought was nice. But Hattie McDaniel spent her entire life being discriminated against. In fact, the reason why all black actors and actresses in Hollywood today have such a comfortable lifestyle is because Hattie McDaniel suffered in their place. And now, Disney is not creating a new ride for their black princess. They've already done it, I think. They've overtaken Splash Mountain. Why? Well, Splash Mountain was inspired by Song of the South. So now, not only did you ban Hattie McDaniel's movie, you're now banning the ride that was inspired by her movie. So in the interest of woke, you're discriminating against black culture. And Snow White and the Seven Persons, in addition to looking like an absolute suckfest, there is one little person in the movie. The other 6 are normal-sized people. So you basically took 6 jobs that would have been ready-made for little persons, and that was it. So this woke bullshit is costing me money. Lots of money. The more you try to be not racist, the more you are racist. Okay? You don't want to have 7 little persons. Okay, so have 1 little person and 6 unemployed little persons. You don't want to be racist towards the blacks. Okay, so ban the movie based on black folklore. Yes, Uncle Remus was created by a white writer, but he is a black folk hero. Ban the movie that celebrates the black folk hero. Ban the movie that stars Hattie McDaniel. And then ban the ride. And then tell everyone else around you you're not racist. Disney has had about 9 consecutive movie failures. And when I say 9, I mean $250 million movie down the drain. Times 9. Plus a few non-consecutive failures. Plus a few TV failures, i.e. Willow. Okay? So, are you trying to tank the fucking company? Now, most of Disney's original cast and crew, who will be well into the hundreds today, they said before they died that the Walt that you see on camera, who's always hugging and kissing and high-fiving and reading stories, that was all an act. The real Walt off camera was not a nice man. He had a dark side. Now, as dark as he was off camera, he was still a brilliant businessman. As dark as he was off camera, he would never, ever, ever tolerate 9 consecutive $250 million failures, or adjust for inflation, the equivalent of $9 billion failures. He wouldn't do that. Even though he might not have been a nice guy personally, he would not have agreed to bankrupt his own fucking company so that people who he didn't even know could say, hey, you're not a racist. Understand this about wokeism, okay? The people that are woke are not stockholders. The people that are woke do not have a fucking job, okay? Because adults that have to get up and have a job and work and pay their bills, those adults don't sit up all fucking night worrying about how everyone's offended by this. Okay, take a shot of whiskey and watch Blazing Saddles and know the fuck out, dicks.